we don't make the thing. Oh, who's it? It's not GE. It's something that's like we don't make the things that make your life better. We make the things that make your life better better. That's me. I don't make the fly shit, but I make the fly shit better than it was.
I like that.
That's me.
Yeah, because everything's already created. Everything's
Facts.
already done. It's just about your spin on things.
Exactly. My spin is fantastic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? I should. It's so good. I should be in propaganda because I spin them shits.
Bars.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned my mood is off. Yeah, I was gonna vent, but like I said, I was angrier earlier, but I'm kind of chill now. But yeah, it's kind of like what I said. I'm more like relieved more than anything.
That's a good skill.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
You say you don't have it?
That's why I don't get mad easily, because when I get mad, I stay mad.
That's my issue too. Yeah.
I don't get. It take a lot to get. That's why people like, oh, he's arguing, he's pissed. I'm like, nah. Like, were you there when I had the argument with the dude at the party, at Trevor's party?
Last year?
The last party when me and the dude were going at it. It was about some stupid like Michael Jordan or something.
I think I was there, but I don't think I paid attention.
Right, we were going at it, and then right it was done. I was like, for real, because it's like I'm not.
It's not that serious.
Like, even if it is, it's like if we didn't come to blows, all right.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't put your hands on me. I'll put my hands on you. All right.
Yeah.
Because once I get mad, like it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Even if they break up the fight, I'll be like, I bet. And I'm gonna walk outside, and I'm gonna try to come around and do something on the other side. Like I know me, so it's just like, what's the use of getting upset?
Yeah. That's why I find it a compliment when people say I'm chill. It's not that I'm chill. It's just I know what I'm capable of. Like, I know what I'm gonna do, or I could do. At the same time, like that's
cold.
Yeah, I know. It's cold, but it's reality.
No, don't say it the way you said it. That's hard. That's cold as fuck. Like, not only cold, like chill, like a cold person. I mean, like nigga.
Oh yeah,
that's a hard ass comment. Like, yeah, I know what I'm capable of. Like, shit.
Oh, I got you.
I kind of want to pay a nigga to try you now. Watch Kevin fold him up.
Do that,
Fold him up, Kev. Oh shit, Kevin really fold him up. Put him in a suitcase.
Cause my issue is the law. If it wasn't for the law, boy,
you'd be out here hurting it.
Boy, that's the only thing, man.
If it wasn't for the law, there'd be a whole lot of shot people. I'll tell you that. I'm too old to fight.
I probably would have been one of them. But either way, man.
Nah, I ain't shooting. I just gotta stop talking to you for like a day and a half, and then I'll be all right.
Oh no, not you to me. I'm talking.
Oh, you mean people would have shot you? Nah,
people, yeah.
That's the worst I've ever felt. Like, I'm not talking to him for the rest of the day. That's the worst I've ever felt with you. And it's always got to do. It's always over black people. It's just like, God, this nigga really. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Man,
that's it.
But
talk about anything.
Okay.
You ready? It's all behind the scenes, right? We just yapping. Unless you want to. Okay, post it, nigga. Yeah, you post behind the scenes too.
Post both.
Yeah, why don't you post everything?
Everything.
There is no. The only thing that's off limits is if we say something crazy, or if like our work things are showing, which is why I was keeping it underneath. Other than that, yeah, man, I ain't got no. We here to be us.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was the idea.
Yeah.
Just to talk and like, because I want people to like have a place they can come to not feel like they're the only ones going through it. Because that's an issue I had like growing up. Because I grew up with like Asian parents.
Mm-hmm.
So like with Asian parents, they talk in circles. Like they contradict themselves. They don't know what they're talking about half the time. And if you ask them a simple question, that simple question is a big deal. I know more than. I know for that. I know what's best for you.
So it's like dating somebody.
It's like dating.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's also like friendships, which.
Not mine.
Yeah, that's my issue. Because I realized that. So to give you guys some context, so I have a friend who I met for at least 5 years plus, and he crossed the line, basically threatened me. So I'm at the point where like I just gotta stop dealing with the disrespect. So depends on how he takes it. I'm gonna take it there, but in general, I kind of feel like I'm more disappointed that in me. Because like I saw the red flags, and I'm the person who gives advice. At the same time, like I don't even take my own advice, if that makes sense. Like it's easy to see like someone else's situation because I'm not them. But then it's with my situation, it's like, okay, well you're not even following it.
Hey,
he told me who he was to begin with, and I just went with it.
Be clear, that's every human being on the planet's problem.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like relieved because it's like. I've been holding on to, like, trying to preserve the friendship, like, even just watching, like, what I say. kind of like tiptoeing,
Walking on
like
eggshells.
walking on eggshells. There you go. Because like I know like this little inconvenience is going to be a huge situation. Kind of like my parents, which also made me realize that yeah, I just ended up finding like my parents in somebody else.
And that sucks.
Yeah, basically. It's a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind to say. I also want to talk about it, but I kind of felt like a leech, if that makes sense, because after the altercation, like I'm thinking, okay, I need to get out of the situation, because I'm not happy with the friendship, but I'm also not happy like where I'm at like in life, and like I just sat down and like looked at all my problems, and I'm thinking like, wait a minute, I don't have to stay here. I can just leave, like it's like I'm kind of happy the problems are there because I thrive in like problem solving. If that makes sense. Like when I was first kicked out of my parents' house, um, like even before they kicked me out, I knew that okay, if something goes wrong, I need to make sure I'm straight. So like I used to do like a bunch of overtime, like when I turned in my 20s, and I ended up uh, buying a car and like paying most of it off. I also like ended up buying a camera, which pays itself off. I wouldn't say 5 times full. Just doing weddings and doing like parties and stuff like that.
The
And
hustle.
then yeah, I was hustling. I was hustling because I knew like one day like I'm just gonna say no, and they're gonna kick me out. And then one day they said no, or I said no, and then that happened. But it wasn't a big deal to me because I had already prepared for that. And it kind of reminds me of like this moment. So like I'm doing all the math, I'm doing like all the thinking, like okay, how am I going to survive on my own? And then I'm doing the math, and I'm like, I don't need nobody. I really don't. Like if I wanted to save $5,000 a month, or I'm sorry, if I wanted to save $5,000, if I just work per day, that's $55 a day. Times 30 days or whatever. It's roughly 5,000. But um, in general, it's so easy to make money. It's like that's it, 5,000. All I need to do is work this a couple of hours, like doing Lyft or doing Uber, and I can make $5,000 in 3 months. Like is that simple? Um, yeah, it's crazy. Like it's
That's
crazy
where
to
we
think about.
differ. That's where we differ. But I'll let you have it.
That's the thing. If you work your own business, I'm not talking about like
There you
per
go.
hour.
There
Yeah.
you go. You gotta
I'm
have
talking about my
skills.
situation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so I'm thinking like that, and then also like I'm thinking like, man, how blessed am I? Because I think of his situation, and I think of like how he crashed his car again. So instead of him, because he was at a point where he could have just paid off his car and he would have been clean when it came to bills. But instead of like working hard, because there was a period where I was just like studying, I was doing Uber, Lyft, I was like out the house like day and night, while he was just like joking around. Um, he even like laughed at me, like talking about like I'm wasting my time. And then once my hustle started paying off, I'm looking at his situation, and it's like he's crashing his car. He crashed his car again. His car insurance is to a point where like he can't even pay. How do I say this? It's gonna cost him a lot more with his car insurance. How do I say this? His car insurance is about the same as his
car payment.
car payments, which is huge if you work a 9 to 5.
Right.
Plus rent, plus every other miscellaneous thing. And it's like you messed yourself up. But I look at myself and I'm like, okay, well, I only pay $200 for my car insurance because I'm a good driver. I can go to another company and only pay $100 with full coverage, so I'm good. I can save $100 from there. I have plenty of people who want to live with me, and or offer me a room. At the lowest is $300 to $400, and or if I just wanted to go off and just live on my own, there's places where it's $600 for the whole house, or it's like $900 for a studio apartment. I'm like, I can do that. I can do that working just a regular 9 to 5, like $13 an hour, plus doing Uber, plus doing Lyft, plus doing side hustles like this. I can live on my own, but at the same time, it's like I was in a mindset that I needed people. That's where I feel like I disappointed myself. I instead of like just saying forget the people who were trying to hold me back, I said I kind of want to wait for them. I kind of want to like bring them with me, but at the same time, they're not going on the same path as me. which slowed me down, which turned into a situation where, yeah, they feel like they can just take advantage of me because they feel like I have nowhere to go. So, that's a lot.
Nah, I feel you. Like, I can tell you this, learning all those lessons that you've learned at the age you're learning them is dope. A lot of people
Yeah,
never learn that stuff till they're in their 50s. A lot of people never learn it, period. A lot of people don't even learn to say no.
that's the issue. Saying no. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People can't do that. Like, I've been there. Like, you know, my history with, I had a crew of dudes who I was hanging with for years, called ourselves the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about every week. There was a dude who lived an hour and a half from here, and he made the drive every Saturday just to come up here, play dominoes, hang out, drink, smoke, whatever. And that was our thing. And even before that, we had a thing where when we were in our 20s, that's how long we've known each other. We were in our 20s, early 20s. We had a spot to hit every night,
Okay.
clubbing wise. And I had somebody, a person I knew back in the day, and we were both at Florida State at the same time. And he came to me and he's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I'm like, "I'm chilling. I'm talking. We hanging out." And he's asking me, "So what I'm doing with life?" And I was like, "Nah, really, bro. You know, I'm hanging out with the boys. You know, I got a little job or whatever. I do that. I live at this one spot." And I'm telling him like how I'm living, and he's like, "Man, you're basically living for free while making like minimal money, but the amount of money is allowing you to continue living." And he's like, "Imagine what you could do if you were working to make money."
Right.
And I was like, I thought about it because I'm not gonna say my situation here, but I had an ideal situation. Ideal, like basically, a woman was living with me with her child, and she paid nothing.
Right.
She made more money than me, and she paid nothing. To this day, we talk, and she goes, "Yo, you're the reason my life is as good as it got because I was able to make a nest egg living with you." And I was like, and she's like, and she was like, she's like, "You never asked me for anything." She's like, "If you asked me for anything, I would have given it to you." But she's like, "You never asked me. I felt so safe at your house." And I was like, "That's what's up." And I was like, I could have been doing the same thing. I could have been making a nest egg. I didn't. I had no responsibilities. My only responsibility was her and her child.
Okay.
And they weren't because it wasn't my kid.
Gotcha.
So you know what I'm saying? I could have been building. I could have been stacking.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was like 23, 24, 25.
Gotcha.
I could have been stacked, but the mindset wasn't there. I was so busy. I want to hang out with the boys. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then, you know, car problems, like you said, your boy, stuff happened. I got to get it. And even then I was blessed.
Right.
Because stuff happened where I was able to get a new car. Like I've always been able to pop up with a new whip. It's like, "Oop, got a new whip," and never like a car payment.
Okay.
Because I had an uncle who worked with
The dealership?
not dealerships, the auctions.
Oh, wow.
So I would just have money in the background, or I don't know if you guys out there know, they're called partners. And I know every minority has a different thing where you put money in, one person gets the money, and then the next month, stuff like that. So I would do that, and I would take that partner money and go to the auction and get a car. So I've always had a paid off car. This is the first time I've had a car payment in my life. Well, no, the car before that, but my ex bought me that car. Even then, my ex bought me a car, but she bought me a car because I bought her a car. She was trying to pay it back. I bought her a car and paid her car off. And then she was like, "I want to do the same." And this is right before we broke up, so I know she was pissed. But I paid that car off. It's like, I could have bought it outright if I'd have been stacking in my 20s. But I wasn't. I was busy living life. You actually got this mindset now, which means your only issue is to make sure you don't go backwards. Make sure you don't fall back. Make sure he doesn't come to you and go, "Hey man, I was tripping, bro. You know we fam, da 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 da." And then you get, because that was my problem. Because I would cut myself away from those people. And then, especially this one guy, I'm not gonna say his name because he might see this, but there's two people in my life that I cannot get rid of.
Okay.
I've tried my best. One of them has a deep-seated anger toward me, but I know he loves me more than most anyone on the planet but my mother. He loves me more than my kid. I know that.
I don't know if I can be around that. I can't be around that now.
I'm not around it now. We haven't seen, I think the last time we saw each other was my mother's birthday 2 years ago. And that's because we both went to a VIP. I was VIP at the Comedy Store in Orlando. And he happened to be there with his mom. I think it might have been a Mother's Day thing. It was Mother's Day a couple years ago. And I was on, and we just saw each other, shook hands, whatever. But he disrespected me like to the point where we were gonna put hands on each other. And I was just like, I don't have to put up with this. And I just stopped. And I've been cutting him off for years, and he just finds a way back in.
It's so crazy.
It is. But like, even the ex I was telling you about, that was in my 20s, we have been together since I was like 24, 25. And she was like, yo, I thought you guys, she was like, I didn't know what it was either you're going to kill each other or you're going to ride or die forever. And I was like, I'd rather it not be either. There's no reason for me to, you know what I mean? And now he tries to talk to me and we talked a little bit, but I could see that when he tries to get in, I just,
Right.
like that little thing. And the other one, he's not around anymore, but he still, because I know he feels that there's a connection there. There's a reason you've been friends this long. You know what I'm saying? You guys understand each other on a level most people don't. But toxicity is just that.
Mm.
Because I saw a saying on Instagram the other day. No, it was on Facebook. Somebody said, I can't stand when you meet somebody, get an instant connection, because you know that shit's going to be toxic. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. Every relationship I've been in that started with us feeling each other the day we met, it's been toxic. Everyone, because they're hurt, I'm hurt. And then, but we get a connection. We like, this might be the change. This might be the difference. And we come in there with all our insecurities and then we just beat the insecurities on each other, but the connection makes us want to stay.
Yeah. All that trauma bonding. That, I got to avoid that. I have a homegirl who's, she's venting me. She's been venting to me like all week about her boyfriend problem.
Don't you fall for that.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
I hold her responsible, but I also listen because sometimes you just want to complain and things. Like that. But yeah, every time I listen to her, it's like, okay, well, how did you guys meet? Oh, we were talking about our problems and stuff like that.
You mean like now? Okay.
Yeah, just like now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for some reason, she falls for the same types.
Not for some reason. That's where she feels comfortable. She's comfortable in that dysfunction.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, she's comfortable with that. Her two types are thugs or mama boys. So they have nothing else to do except slang and and gossip and stuff like that. So that's her type. And it got me thinking, like, you know what? Yeah, this situation and then what you're telling me, it's kind of weird that you're telling me your situation right when my situation is happening. That it's like, you know what? I have to move away from that because I have a problem with like trauma bonding and like feeling sorry for people who are not exposed, but like vent. Okay.
That's
one
of my issues. That's one of my issues.
Dang, man, that is messed up about your parents. But my parents did the same thing. Or
I would never treat you like that.
Oh, I don't go that far.
No, that's how you feel. I would never do that to you. Why would someone do that to you? Why would they hurt you like that? That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, in your mind, you're so.
I don't do that with that's me.
I mean, you feel that way. Like you meet someone like, you're so sweet to me, you're so nice to me. Why would someone treat you like that? If we were together, I would never do something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, so I have a hard time falling for that. But now that I think about it, it's like I need to do that. Because some people are like we just said, they're comfortable in it. They look for it sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, you know what? I was at my martial arts class, and I was like, practicing a move with this girl, and she's telling me about her problems at the work. Kind of same thing, like talking about her ex, talking about her coworker and stuff like that. She told me about her parents because she's Puerto Rican, and she was like, I forgot how we got there, but I was like, I'm Haitian. My parents are Haitian, and she's like, oh yeah, my mom's Cuban, my dad's Puerto Rican. I forgot what else I said, but she's like, yeah, I get my color from my dad. Like, I didn't even mention color or anything like that. She just brought it out there. She's like, yeah, I get my color from my dad. I was like, oh, yeah, it was good on you. Just like a throwaway joke. I don't know if it's weird or not.
It's not a throwaway joke. That's a low key flirt.
Okay.
That's a stage 1 flirt. Now, I know the level. That's a level.
I did throw it out.
Yeah. See, you want to see the reaction. Yeah, that's a look. I know that game.
Like I complimented her hair.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, you dyed your hair. I said, yeah, it looks good on you. But okay, I did throw that in. Mm-hmm. But she like just freaked out. She's like, whoa, okay, and it just got uncomfortable.
We would never speak again.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I was thinking like, how am I gonna get with this chick? And then I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I'll like talk to her friends since we all do the same martial arts stuff, and maybe I can have her friend on my side. But at the same time, like, you know what? My friend who also does it too. My friend who knows her more is telling me that she has a lot of issues she has to deal with, and I'm over here trying to figure out how to get with her, knowing that she has issues. Why am I doing that? So I'm thinking, I'm kind of off her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off her.
Good.
it's like I'm literally looking for the problems, and it's like, yeah, I'm glad this happened. Because I don't regret these 5 years that I've been friends with this person. I'm kind of thankful it happened because now I have like a blueprint, or not a blueprint, but I have like a
Blueprint.
blueprint. Okay, yeah, blueprint. For like, okay, well, if I go down this route again, I'm going to end up in the same situation. So I think, yeah, I want you guys to think about your situation and just know that you're not alone. You're not going through an individual situation that nobody can relate to. Like we all have the same problem. So yeah, that's all I vent about.
That's one of my big issues, though. Like in life, you think you're the only one going through it,
Okay.
but it's crazy because all right. So there's songs, right, that I've loved, and because I'm not, people think I'm a big social person, right? Because they see how I am at parties or they see how I am when there's people around. That's a mask. That's who I turn that mask on because I know people want to see fun Mike. They want to see crazy Mike. They want to see Mike that's going to turn the party up. So I'll turn that character on. But when that's all gone and I leave, I don't deal with nobody. Like, you know how hard it is? The biggest issue I've ever had dating someone is they go, damn, it's like you don't want to talk to me. And it's like, it's not that. I'm used to being by myself. I could listen to an audiobook. You see, I listen to an audiobook. I had a 62-hour audiobook. And the biggest thing in my life was to finish that audiobook.
Yeah.
And then when I finished it, I wanted to do it again. Like that, for the biggest thing in my life, I'm lucky that I work a crazy shift, 312s, because I can do that my whole 312s. And I'm allowed to. But like in a like he'll tell you, I was just talking to my girl before we started recording. I know I have to give that attention. You know what I mean? Because that's what they need. But I'm the kind of person I could be by myself.
Right,
I'm like comfortable. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy. Just like being attracted to trauma is not healthy.
It's not healthy, right?
And I'm attracted to trauma too. Like I mean, you know, they used to call me they used to call me crazy glue. Dead serious. They used to call me crazy glue because I would always get shattered women and put them back together.
Right.
And I called it I call them my prodigal exes because I would put women back together. They would fall for me. Then I would make them better. And then they would go, oh, I could do better. And then they would go out. And when they would try to do better, they would realize, oh, it's bullshit out here. And they would try to come back like in the Bible, the prodigal son. And I'd be like,
can't do that.
Sorry. An ex said the best thing to me a long time ago. She said, I don't recycle.
I like that.
And I said, I'm using that. I'm glad she didn't use that on me. But she's like, I don't recycle. That's why I never tried to get back with her when we stopped talking. I was like, she don't recycle, I don't recycle. It is what it is. So you gotta, when you get to a point where you need to make sure you have your ducks in the row. You don't just stop talking to someone and be like, I'm not recycling. I need to understand and know that I made the best I could. I did the best choices I could make. And now it makes no sense for me to go back because your mind is the worst thing again. Like what he's doing with the girl, he said, and right now it's logical to him that I got to stop talking to her. She's toxic, right? Or her and I would be toxic. But in his brain, he's going to be like, damn, but she kind of cute. I really feel her. Like, you see what I'm saying? I didn't even know. We haven't even talked about this. I'm just telling you, I know. So that thing is what you have to combat.
Right.
That's the problem. Yeah. Not the person, you. Because there's a part of you that's used to being comfortable in ethnicity. Not to say ethnicity, effed upness, FUBAR. You're comfortable in that. From you, it's from your parents. You're used to being in a toxic relationship. So you're okay with it. You know it's not good for you, but you know how to maneuver so you feel comfortable. You need to get outside of yourself.
Right.
Like the chick I'm talking to now, she came from I'm talking about mom and dad, good, like professionals, like family tight. Like they hang out every week.
Oh, wow.
Like
spend time with each other?
Fam,
wow.
Her brother shows up to her house at all. I'm called the black sheep of my family because for like 10 years I didn't go to reunions. And they're like, you coming for what?
Yeah.
I don't need you. Like I really felt like that.
Yeah.
And now I go and I'm like, I'm gonna show you how bad I am. I went to a reunion, right? The whole reunion centered around this one gathering we were gonna do one day. It was a big gathering. The Jamaicans from Jamaica, the Jamaicans from America, the Jamaicans from Britain, we're all gonna meet in one place, right? One hotel. The Jamaicans from Jamaica showed up because they didn't have to come to the hotel because they lived there. They showed up an hour and a half late. I saw them. It was supposed to start at 6. They started showing up at 7:30, 7:45. I saw them. I hugged the ones that I cared for.
Keep talking.
I hugged the ones that I cared for, and then I went on about my business. I saw them. I said I hugged them. Mind you, the thing didn't start till 8:15. I left.
Wow.
That's me. I hugged them. I took pictures, and I got up because if you ever been to Jamaica, if you ever been anywhere in the Caribbean, America doesn't understand that AC. I tell people all the time, the greatest invention is air conditioning. Because over there, it's just, you think Florida or Georgia or whatever's humid, the
Yeah.
Caribbean is humid.
I believe.
What? You get off the elevator, airplane in the airport, you're like, oh my God, it's killing you. So we were outside, I'm in a silk shirt, and I'm like, you know what happens with silk and sweat. So I was like, hey man, I love y'all so much. And then I just started taking back steps like Homer. I backed right out, I went around a cut, fume, and this is how bad it was. At 9:15, people are like, hey, where you at? I'm like, nigga, I've been gone for an hour and some change. I'm in the pool. I ain't worried about y'all. That's who I've always been. So that's my thing I have to convey. Because her brother just had a baby. She's over the brother's house with the baby. I would never do that. I'm like, hey, holler at me when the baby's like 4 months old and I can't kill it by mistake.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. You hold a baby wrong, you can hurt his neck, the nerves, you hit the spot. Holler at me when the baby can move. Come on, bro. I'm not hurting somebody else's baby. Thank you. Thank you. I think I say it out loud. People look at me like I'm crazy. My baby's my baby. So I had to deal with my baby, but I kept her on the bed. I'm like, she's on the bed. Hey, roll over, cool. I got all this room, real estate to work with. You can't roll over and fall off the bed. You got to be on the edge. So I keep you in the middle. Other people's baby, I'm not dropping that baby. Then you gonna hate me for life? Holler at me when the baby's more secure, the joints are not gonna break anything. Then I come up. She's over there every day showing me pictures. I'm just like, ugh, that's scary. But I need to get out of that. Right. So
Okay.
now you good, bro. So that's my big thing. I'm freaked out about her because she's coming from such a healthy place.
Yeah.
But she's freaked out about other things. And the thing she's freaked out about, I'm good at. So it's like we're feeding each other.
I like that.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So I told her like I tell anybody, I am a child of Patrice O'Neal. I believe wholeheartedly in the thing he said, where he said, the best relationship is where I'm happy first. Because I'm a man and it doesn't take much to make me happy. And if you give me all the things that make me happy, now I have a base that I can work with to keep you and all the plethora of things that women need to be happy. And she understands it and she subscribes to it. She does her best to keep me happy. Anything I ask for, she does it. Bro, I told her I like patties. Every time I go to her house, bro, there's a box of patties. I ain't talking about 2 or 3 patties. Box of 15, 20 waiting on me. She know I like ginger ale. It's in the fridge. Bro, I get pictures you seen them. I get pictures. It's at my front door. What the hell is, how you know my front door? She ain't never been to my house. How you know my front door? Oh, Amazon. She just sent me something. You know Amazon saying that picture when they take it? Check your front door. I got a present. What? I've never. And
you can't downgrade from there. You can't.
And the type of man that I am, I believe in symmetry. Right. So if you send me presents, you go get some presents. All the stuff I've been thinking about, I'm like, you about to catch this. You about to catch it. And she's at home like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. I'm like, don't worry, another thing's coming. You about to catch this. I'm about to go through all of our texts and write down all the information I've learned about her, put it on a spreadsheet so I can, all right, her birthday's here. I got to make sure I get something like this. She gonna need something like this. She likes something like that's how much effort I'm willing to put in. Why? Because I'm happy.
I like that.
That's how it works.
I like that. I wish I could go back in time and like send myself a text message or like give myself a notebook. But yeah, I'm 31 now. Moving forward, one thing I'm gonna do, 2 things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure I never compromise my my boundaries. Like never how do I say this? Never. I'm sorry. I have the word in my head.
When you make a boundary, stick to it.
I'm gonna stick to my boundaries.
Don't let your feelings, your dick, your heart, or your brain change those boundaries.
Right. Yes, never compromise. There we go. That's the word. I had something else. Oh, I never compromise who I am because I've always raised myself to ever since watching Dante Nero and Beige Phillip, and yeah,
another disciple of Patrice O'Neal.
Somewhat Patrice O'Neal. But yeah, I've always had the mindset of accountability, credibility, and empathy. And I think with my previous situations, I think I moved too far with empathy, and yet I never went hard with the other two because I was never credible. Being so, for example, when it comes to telling a lie, right? If you're not 100% truthful, you're a liar. If you're 90% honest, if you're 99% honest, you're still a liar. And not to say that I just go out and just lie to people all the time, but I let things slide, which is somewhat a lie. So, like for example, if someone says, "Hey, are you good?" "Yeah, I'm okay." Or if someone says, "Hey, can I have $1?" And I say, "Yeah, go for it," even though it's like, I don't want to keep that dollar. Little things like that, because those little things, they always accumulate to something bigger, to where like they're gonna say, "Hey, can I borrow your car?" After they crash their car twice, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
I felt that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel comfortable with that. "Oh, but you're a fake friend, man. I would have done it for you, this and that." I said, "Whoa,
You
care about
know what your response is to that? I would never put you in a position where I had to ask you for that because I'm a real friend.
that is a good point." But I let things slide. I let things slide just to compromise my boundaries, and then also not be credible. So yeah, moving forward, I'm gonna do that. Even if I upset people, random people, people I love, people I don't love, etc., etc. It's about being honest, being completely myself, because I'm tired of uh, uh, I'm tired of adjusting myself to make people comfortable. That's my situation. Even if it's a girlfriend, even if it's my parents, even if it's friends, if you can't have a nice dialogue and say, "Hey, listen, I'm not comfortable with that," and you can't say, "Well, I understand," or can I ask you why and stuff like that. If you can't be understanding, then I'm just not gonna be understanding with you, and it's just gonna be dead and done from there. Yeah, that's all I wanted to vent about.
Hey, you need to make those. I made one. I remember I had a friend I've known since I was 6 years old. She and I, and we gotten close to doing stuff, but we never really did anything. And I used to be there for her to vent like crazy. She used to vent, 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 vent. And I'm the type of person, there's a reason I'm not a psychologist because I'm going to tell you the truth. Nah, real tough. So I used to be like, "Oh, you're an idiot." And she's like, "What you mean?" I'm like, you knew who that was. You told me when you first met him, da 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 tells you this. And now you're dealing with it because you ignored that. You know what you were doing. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
Well, can't you be nice? No, I'm going to tell you the truth. That's why people, if they come to me for advice, they know what they're coming for. So I tell them the truth. And then she used to cry, and then she'd be like, "You're right." It got to the point where she would just be like, "You're right. I got to do better." And then she wouldn't do better. And I'd be like, I would like show her old stuff she said. "Remember this? I'm right." Because how are you doing it? And I'd be like, "Hey, I had enough of all that today because you're just going to tell me stuff that you did that you knew you shouldn't have did. Right. You know the answer already. I don't want to hear it today." She was like, "Okay, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Nothing. I don't want to talk." Like, I used to be blunt with her. And it got to a point where I realized, I was like, I think we're talking so, because you're giving so much of that time, it breeds familiarity and it makes you feel something for that person, because that's why they say you always date who you're around, because when you're familiarity, you get used to them. That's why you're not supposed to keep traumatic people around you. That's why you're not supposed to keep toxic people around you. That's why you're supposed to hang with people who are better than you. Yeah. And when I cut her off, it was one of the hardest things. I really love her. I care about her. She had to go.
I agree.
She had to go. I haven't talked to her in about 3, 4, 5 years, and I don't plan on it. And we have mutual friends.
That's tough.
And as you know, you need to be tough, because you were saying you need to be more honest. That's not the whole sentence. The whole sentence is you need to be more honest with yourself.
With
yourself.
I like that.
Yes, sir. You need to stop lying to you, because you know when you're lying. You know when you're lying is you just trying to convince yourself, nah, it's a little different. No, it ain't. Same shit. Same thing. Same thing as that last girl. Same thing as the girl before her. Simply, you know your patterns. The blueprint. You know your own blueprint. You know this is what I do, and then you know what it leads to. So when you see the first one, save yourself from the rest of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go by that.
You got to.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I see why God flooded the earth. But anyways, guys.
People suck.
I don't know if this resonates with you, but just talk to us in the comments. And I don't know, that's it.
Hey, normally he knows, and normally I know and he doesn't, but we both know this one. And we both don't.
Okay,
So-
how about he doesn't? Like whoever's out
Facts.
there, he doesn't.
You don't. You need to come learn with us.
Yeah, you don't.
Come over here. Facts.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Holla at your boy.
Oh, I like that one.
You would. You love emotions.
Emotions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You like man emotions. Speak your feelings. I'm like, well,